Hello and welcome to Library Drawing Party. Today we're going to be drawing the beautiful bluebell flower. To start, let's sketch the stem going through the middle of the page. And you can do this really loose. This is just so we have an idea of where we want the bluebell flowers to be. And you can see there's another bluebell in the background. So let's draw a second stem in the far left corner of our page. Once we have our stem sketched, let's take light purple and let's start outlining the flowers. So the reason that we're using the light purple instead of the regular number 2 pencil is because since a lot of the color is really light, we don't want the gray to show up. So we'll just go ahead and start with our colors. If you're doing this in grayscale though, you can go ahead and start outlining your flowers using the regular number 2 pencil. So see these smaller buds, that's the new buds, and then we work our way down to the more mature flowers. Right now I'm just outlining so I have an idea of where I want my flowers to go. As always, nothing in nature is perfect, so your flowers don't need to be perfect. In fact, they would be better if they're unique because then it'll be more natural. This particular one has this like V shape. So I'm going to do that one. And a lot of the flowers are overlapping or right next to each other. So when we place one flower, it helps place the rest of the flowers. Like, see, this one comes out from that one. And since we're pressing so light with the pencil, you don't have to worry about making a mistake because you can always just draw over it. So this flower may look like one flower, but it's actually 2 flowers right up against each other. And it covers the stem a little bit. You can tell when you're very focused because it's easy to get very quiet. Now the size of my canvas in this one is a little bit smaller than my original, so I'm going to abbreviate it a little bit and crop out this bottom portion. The techniques that we're using for all of the flowers are the same, so you can add as many or as few flowers as you'd like. Once we have our flowers outlined, then we're going to take that same light purple and we're going to fill in the flowers with a light base coat. So it should be really light purple. You want the strokes of the pencil to be going down because this particular flower, the lines are going down towards the ground. If you have any ideas that you'd like us to use in our library drawing parties, please fill them out in the comments section of our Facebook page. We'd be happy to work on ideas that you have. Nature ideas work really well. Okay, I'm almost done filling in my flowers. Now you're gonna take a dark purple and we're gonna start to add some of the shading. This new bud at the top is very dark. So when you're trying to get these dark colors, you can put the full force of the pencil. You can use the full force of the pencil. And then as you work towards the lighter areas, you can lessen your grip. So for example, for this one, you put the full force on the bottom, and then as you work your way towards the top, you lessen your grip and the color fades out. Okay, so once we have our buds, the darkest part of the flower is the piece connected to the stem. So we want that to be very dark, and then we want to have these stripes inside. When it's overlapping, if you don't see the connection to the stem, that's fine. We'll just color the stripe part in then. Now, not the whole, the there's pieces of the stripe that should be the full force darkness, but a lot of it is just, you're just going to want to put that first dark base coat down, because we're going to go in and add some blue, because there was some blue coming out of the Bluebells. That's probably how it got its name, Bluebells. Okay, I'm almost finished doing my first dark purple coat. And then comes the blue. So I'm gonna use, oh wait, I missed one. No problem. You can just go back in and catch it. Okay, so I'm taking the turquoisey blue color that we use in our seascape, and I'm just gonna add little lines right where we put this stripe. This way we'll have that nice blue color that was present in the Bluebells that I was looking at. Okay, let's go back and do second coat of this light purple. Darken it up. They say that the color purple was used exclusively in royalty clothing and other items made for royalty because the color was so rare in nature. It was a very difficult color to manufacture. I'm very glad that we are able to use purple today because it's such a beautiful color, and I can see why the royals would admire it. Now, as we add this darker coat of light purple, the dark purple that we added is getting a bit muddied. So to make the dark purple a little bit brighter, we'll just go back and add some more shading once we finish with this light purple. Okay, so we have our bluebells. Let's go back in and have that darker purple shade to really bring out the stripes. Okay. You can use some white to blend it. We do want the flowers to be nice and smooth. Some of my edges are looking a little rough. I'm going to go back in and use that light purple, smooth them out. Okay. I think I want to actually add some dark blue to really bring out this deep color. Okay, we have some bluebells. This was 2 flowers, so it needs another stem here. Okay. Once we have that, then let's work on the stem. The stem might feel thick, but that's because we're so close up. So the bluebells are a pretty small flower, but we're doing a nice close-up so we can get to see all the intricacies that make up this particular flower. Okay, we did our light base coat in the light green. Let's put some dark green on top. And then let's have some yellow. Because it's never just truly green for the stem. Okay, I know I have a lot of texture going on here, but I like that. I think it gives it some movement across the page. Okay, let's work on the bluebell in the background. So this one is farther away, so we want it to be less distinct. We're gonna still use that same pattern, so we'll make some bluebells with the purple, light purple. And we'll take the dark purple and give it the stripes that are characteristic of the flower. Take our light green, color it in, dark green. This one we want it to be thinner so that you can tell that it's farther away, just like the flowers are smaller. Okay, once we have our bluebells and the stems, then we'll color in the background. So the background is full of leaves. We have big leaves, small leaves. So I'm gonna just go ahead and sketch out some leaves with the light green. And this is mostly for your background. So these don't need to be as defined as the bluebells were. And we have some straight lines. I think our stem came down a bit. Have some leaves over here, side. Feel free to be as creative as you can with the leaves. Could be a nice opportunity to do an abstract pattern. Just pretend that you're in the forest, in the brush. And what you might see there. Alright, once we have some leaves sketched out, let's take our dark green and start adding some shading. Since we want our focus to be on the bluebell flowers, we don't need the leaves to be as defined. They can be much looser, almost like an impressionist painting. Just give you and the viewer an idea of where these flowers are in space. They're still in the ground. They're still with nature. If you want to change it up though, you can always make a flower pot. Put them in a flower pot. You put them in a vase. So just think about where you'd like your bluebells to be. Okay, I put in some shading. Let me go back and take the light green and let's go in and fill in all this white space. This helps bring out the purple color. We have a nice cool color scheme using the blues, greens, and the purples. Since we're trying to recreate the bush or nature, these lines do not all have to go in the same direction. In fact, it would be better if they didn't go in the same direction, because then it shows the many different directions that the leaves surrounding the bluebells would be going in. Just going in and adding a few finishing touches. I'm adding some smaller lines in the dark purple. And let's add in some more of the gold color, or you could do a light brown too. And this just helps keep the background interesting. Keep the eye moving around the page. And I'm gonna just go in and add a bit darker purple. Can really put the full force this time. And there you have it. There's your bluebells. Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you in more library drawing parties. If you'd like to see our previous library drawing parties, they're on the Mercer County Library System YouTube page, as well as earlier Facebook posts. We'll be having a library drawing party every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And keep being creative.